Avoid this mistake if you want true confidence. Most people think confidence is something you're either born with or you magically achieve once you've hit certain milestones. But that's one of the biggest myths out there. Real, lasting confidence isn't about faking it, knowing all the answers, or having the perfect life. It's about something much deeper. It comes from understanding yourself, focusing on what you can control, and letting go of everything else. In this video, we'll explore the practical steps to unlock that kind of confidence. Whether you're looking to build resilience in tough times, learn how to stay focused in a world full of distractions, or embrace the lifelong journey of growth and humility, this guide will show you how to turn challenges into opportunities for strength. Let's dive in and start building the kind of confidence that doesn't waver, no matter what life throws your way. Number 1. Unlock your true confidence by understanding yourself. Imagine a moment where you're at peace with everything around you. Things just feel right. You're walking through a sunlit park, the breeze gentle on your skin, the world quiet, and for once, you're not rushing or worrying. You feel a deep sense of contentment, like you're exactly where you're supposed to be. It's a rare feeling, isn't it? It makes you wonder why those moments of ease and happiness are so fleeting. But what if I told you that these moments don't have to be rare? What if you could cultivate that feeling from within, regardless of your circumstances? That's where true confidence begins, when you understand yourself deeply. At some point, we've all asked ourselves the big questions. Who am I? What am I doing with my life? These thoughts might hit you in the middle of the night, during a quiet drive, or maybe when you're caught off guard by an old memory. But when you don't take the time to answer those questions, you end up feeling lost, like you're living someone else's life, making decisions based on what others expect from you. True confidence comes from knowing who you really are, not who you think you should be. It's not an easy journey, is it? We spend years mimicking what others want, whether it's in relationships, at work, or even with friends. We try to fit into molds designed by society, thinking that by doing so, we'll be happier, more successful, and more liked. But what happens when you chase those external validations? You start doubting yourself. You lose that authentic connection with the person you are at your core. It's like looking at yourself in a mirror, but you barely recognize the reflection staring back. The essence of Stoicism teaches us to dig deep into who we are, peeling back layers of doubt, fear, and external influence. When you reflect on your life and actions, not just on the surface but at your core, you start recognizing your true self. Imagine being able to walk through life, making decisions from a place of deep self-awareness. You wouldn't second-guess yourself. You wouldn't worry about what others think. You'd be acting in alignment with your inner truth. And that kind of authenticity creates a confidence so strong that nothing can shake it. Think back to a time when you were younger, maybe a teenager, unsure of who you were or what the world wanted from you. Remember how you thought by doing what others expected, you would somehow find happiness? Maybe it was conforming to a group in high school or choosing a career path because it sounded impressive. But did it truly bring you happiness? Or did it just make you feel more disconnected from yourself? That nostalgia, that longing to go back and do things differently, isn't just a memory. It's a reminder of how important it is to stay true to yourself. But here's the thing. It's never too late to change course. Self-understanding isn't something you figure out in your teenage years and then check off the list. It's a continuous journey. And every step you take towards discovering your core beliefs, values, and desires brings you closer to unshakable confidence. This journey isn't just about finding what you're good at, it's about embracing all parts of yourself, even the ones that make you uncomfortable. When you know yourself deeply, confidence follows naturally because you're no longer seeking external approval. You already have it, from within. Curious? How do you start peeling back those layers? How do you dig into who you really are? Think of it like building a relationship with yourself, one honest conversation at a time. Start asking the hard questions. What drives you? What scares you? What makes you feel alive? The answers to those questions will unlock the confidence that's been hiding within you all along. Number 2, master the art of letting go. Focus on what you can control. Now let's shift gears a little. Remember that feeling when you've worked so hard for something, maybe a job promotion or a personal goal, and no matter how much you've given, the outcome just didn't go your way. That sense of frustration, helplessness, or even anger. It's like standing in front of a locked door, trying to break it down when, deep down, you know the key is nowhere in sight. We've all been there. It's such a human experience to feel like you're pushing against an immovable force. The real question is, how much energy are you willing to waste on things you simply cannot control? In life, we often get caught up in this trap. We focus on the wrong things, things that are entirely out of our hands. Whether it's trying to change someone else's behavior, worrying about how others perceive us, or stressing over unpredictable future events, we lose control of the only thing we can ever truly command: our reactions. The Stoics knew this. They taught that trying to control the uncontrollable is one of the biggest sources of human suffering. The key to unlocking true inner peace, and by extension real confidence, is to master the art of letting go. This doesn't mean giving up or becoming passive. It means being strategic about where you place your energy. Imagine if you stopped wasting your strength on things you can't change and started focusing on what you can control: your thoughts, your actions, your responses to the challenges life throws at you. When you do this, you'll find a sense of calm washing over you, the kind that allows you to stand tall no matter what storms are raging around you. Remember that time when you were younger, and no matter how much you tried to impress others, it never seemed to be enough. Maybe it was trying to get the approval of a parent or the attention of a crush. The harder you tried, the more distant they seemed. It's a bitter memory, isn't it? That feeling of being powerless despite your best efforts. But what if you had shifted your focus back then? What if, instead of focusing on someone else's opinion, you had focused on building your own sense of worth? That nostalgia, that wish that you could go back and do things differently, is a reminder that your power lies within you, not in the opinions or actions of others. Curious about how to do this? It starts by identifying where your energy is going. Are you spending your days trying to control situations or people who are completely outside your influence? Or are you focusing on becoming the best version of yourself, regardless of external circumstances? The more you shift your attention to the things you can influence, like your attitude, your resilience, your choices, the more confident you become. Because suddenly, you're not at the mercy of the world. You're in charge of yourself. Number 3. Strengthen your focus. Ignore distractions and prioritize what matters. Do you ever get caught up in the whirlwind of distractions around you? Maybe you're scrolling through social media, and before you know it, hours have passed, and you're left feeling drained, wondering where all your time went. It's such a relatable experience, one that most of us face daily. In a world filled with endless notifications, constant demands on our attention, and a never-ending stream of information, it's no wonder we feel scattered, and when your focus is divided, confidence crumbles. How can you feel in control when your attention is constantly being pulled in 1,000 directions? There's a certain happiness that comes when you're able to focus on something meaningful. Maybe it's a project at work, a hobby, or even a deep conversation with a friend. In those moments, time seems to slow down, and you're fully present, immersed in the task at hand. That's the power of focus. When you concentrate on what truly matters, you create a sense of mastery, and with that comes confidence. But in today's world, maintaining that focus is harder than ever. Distractions are everywhere, and they're designed to steal your attention. Think back to a time before smartphones and constant notifications, when life was a little simpler and distractions were fewer. Maybe it was during your childhood, when you spent hours playing outside, lost in your imagination, or when you could read a book for hours without interruption. There's a certain nostalgia in remembering those days, isn't there? A longing for a time when focus came naturally and we weren't bombarded with distractions at every turn. But here's the good news. While our world may have changed, your ability to focus hasn't disappeared. It just needs to be nurtured. Curious about how to regain that sense of focus? Start by identifying the distractions that are pulling you away from what matters. Is it your phone constantly buzzing with notifications? Is it the pressure to be everywhere, doing everything at once? Once you pinpoint the distractions, set boundaries, give yourself time to disconnect from the noise and reconnect with what's important. Whether it's setting aside tech-free hours, practicing mindfulness, or simply saying no to unnecessary demands, every step you take towards focusing on what matters will build your confidence. Number 4, build resilience and toughness. Turn challenges into opportunities. Imagine a time when everything seemed to go wrong. One of those weeks where no matter how hard you tried, life just kept throwing curveballs. Maybe it was a tough day at work, followed by an argument at home, and to top it all off, your car broke down. It's the kind of situation that leaves you feeling drained, like the universe is conspiring against you. But here's the thing. What if you could look at these challenges through a different lens? Instead of seeing obstacles, you could see opportunities. Opportunities to grow, to learn, and to become stronger. We often admire people who seem tough, resilient, and able to bounce back no matter what life throws at them. They don't crumble under pressure, they thrive in it. But the truth is, resilience isn't something you're born with. It's something you build. Stoicism teaches that life's challenges are inevitable, but how you respond to them is entirely within your control. The key to resilience is changing your mindset. Instead of seeing adversity as something to fear or avoid, see it as a chance to grow stronger. Think about a time in your life when you faced a significant challenge. Maybe it was a financial hardship, a health scare, or a difficult breakup. At the time, it probably felt like the end of the world, but now, looking back, can you see how that experience shaped you, how it made you tougher, more resilient, or even wiser? That sense of nostalgia for a past struggle is a powerful reminder that growth often comes from discomfort. The toughest moments in life often lead to the greatest opportunities for self-improvement. But resilience isn't just about enduring hardship. It's about thriving despite it. It's about taking those difficult moments and turning them into stepping stones for growth. Curious about how you can build that kind of resilience? Start by shifting your perspective. When life throws challenges your way, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can this experience make me stronger? When you adopt this mindset, you no longer fear challenges, you welcome them. And that is the foundation of true resilience. Resilience isn't built in comfort. It's forged in the fires of adversity. Every time you face a challenge head-on, you're strengthening your inner toughness. And with that toughness comes an unshakable confidence. Because when you've proven to yourself that you can handle whatever life throws your way, there's nothing left to fear. Number 5. Embrace humility and continuous learning for lasting confidence. There's a certain joy in mastering something, isn't there? Whether it's a skill, a hobby, or a task at work, reaching a point where you feel confident in your abilities is deeply satisfying. But here's the catch. What happens when you stop learning? When you get comfortable with what you know and stop seeking growth? That confidence you once felt can quickly turn into complacency. The secret to lasting confidence is embracing the idea that no matter how much you know, there's always more to learn. It's easy to get caught up in the idea that once you've reached a certain level of expertise, you've made it. But true confidence isn't about knowing everything. It's about being open to learning and growth. The Stoics believed in the importance of humility and continuous self-improvement. They understood that confidence isn't a destination, it's a journey. And the moment you stop learning, you stop growing. Think back to a time when you were a child. Everything was new, and every day was an opportunity to learn something new. Remember that sense of wonder and curiosity you had, whether it was learning to ride a bike, discovering a new favorite book, or mastering a skill you never thought possible. That nostalgia for the days when learning was an exciting adventure is a reminder that the best kind of confidence comes from being open to new experiences and knowledge. But here's the thing, embracing humility doesn't mean doubting yourself or your abilities. It means recognizing that there's always room for growth. It's about being confident enough to admit that you don't know everything, and that's okay. In fact, that openness to learning is what sets the most successful and confident people apart. They understand that growth is a lifelong process. Curious about how to cultivate this kind of humility, it starts with adopting a learner's mindset. Instead of feeling like you have to prove yourself all the time, embrace the idea that there's always more to learn. Whether it's seeking feedback, trying new things, or simply being open to different perspectives, every step you take towards continuous learning builds lasting confidence. Because when you're always growing, you never become stagnant, and that growth fuels a confidence that can carry you through life. Embracing humility means acknowledging that you'll never have all the answers, and that's not a weakness. It's a strength. It's what keeps you curious, keeps you striving, and keeps you confident. Because the more you learn, the more you realize that confidence isn't about knowing everything. It's about being open to growth, and that's what will keep your confidence alive for the long run. This completes the detailed script based on the headings you provided, following the emotional shifts and structure for your audience. Let me know if you'd like to make any changes or need further sections. As we wrap up this journey towards building true confidence, remember that confidence isn't about perfection. It's about resilience, growth, and staying aligned with your core values. Whether it's focusing on what truly matters, turning challenges into opportunities, or practicing humility and gratitude, the steps you take today will shape a stronger, more confident you tomorrow. Life will always present obstacles, but it's how you respond that defines your confidence. If you've made it this far, drop 100 in the comments. This shows you're part of the 0.01% who actually finish what they start. You're committed, and that's the first step towards real change. If you're serious about transforming your life, make sure to subscribe to our channel and become a part of this growing community. Your journey to confidence starts now.